We've all heard the term locking in. It's become increasingly popular in recent years, and it seems like our generation is obsessed with it. Maybe this rise is connected to the increasing rates of ADHD, but that's a discussion for another time. So what does it mean to lock in? According to Merriam-Webster, it means to enter a state of deep focus. However, I think the way the phrase is used today is often misrepresented. Many people adopt it as a way to take control of their lives by focusing solely on their grind, treating every other distraction or hobby as something useless and worth ignoring. But when you do that, you end up taking on everything at once, eventually burning out or feeling overwhelmed. Then you fall right back into the rut you were in before your so-called lock-in phase. Now, I'm obviously a very small YouTuber, but I still believe I have some wisdom to share. I've experimented with the lock-in phase multiple times and never found real benefit from it. But I did come up with a solution. The problem with the lock-in mindset is that it forces you, a level 1 character, to try jumping straight to level 100. And that's simply not realistic. Everything we do should be gradual. I know I've gone on a bit of a tangent here, but the real question is, if locking in isn't the solution, then what is? For me, the answer's been living life through a routine. Now hold on. I know I just said we shouldn't go from 0 to 100, and implementing a routine might sound like exactly that, but my routine isn't some rigid, hyper-optimized schedule. Instead, it's a collection of small habits that I try to incorporate throughout my day. Today, I want to share 5 things I genuinely try to do every day and believe could benefit everyone. Now, even though I just said every day, I actually mean on weekdays only. As much as everyone likes their grind, I prefer getting at least a day or 2 of rest. Now, without further ado, the first habit is waking up early. And by early, I don't mean 4 or 5 a.m. like influencers such as Ashton Hall constantly preach. I think waking up that early is unnecessary unless you have work or religious obligations at that hour. For most people, aiming for 6, 7, or even 8 a.m. is much more realistic and healthy. These times are close to sunrise. They match the rhythm of most people's lives, and they allow you to actually get sunlight on your skin, which is extremely good for you. Maybe after waking up, you can go for a jog or sit outside. I personally don't because I live in Canada. But even the sun hitting me through a window feels great. And if you want to feel even more refreshed, then as Uncle Ben once never said, with great mornings come great sleep. Take a melatonin if you have to, but try sleeping early and keeping your sleep schedule consistent. It's good for both your body and your mind. Speaking of things that are good for your body, the second habit on my list is having your food pre-made. Similar to laundry, I try to dedicate 1 day each week to cooking all my meals at once, so everything is ready to go. I don't really consider this traditional meal prep where people portion food into tiny containers and stack them in the fridge. Instead, I cook what I need, put it all in one large bowl or container, cover it, and refrigerate it. Because of how I eat, I don't worry too much about strict portions, mainly because I don't really eat breakfast. I usually have 1 big lunch and 1 big dinner, so I prepare food with those 2 meals in mind. For my late morning meal, or brunch, I guess, you'll usually find me having a salad with chicken and blueberries. The salad mix I buy includes spinach, arugula, baby lettuce, and a few other greens. In the mornings, I like making a smoothie. Actually, that's a lie. Sometimes I'll have a smoothie, and other times, especially on cold days, I'll just make a coffee. So in the morning, it's either a smoothie or a coffee. Then I head to the gym, and once I'm back, I have my brunch around 11 a.m. While I'm eating my chicken salad, I like to watch anime. I know it's a guilty pleasure, but it keeps my routine from feeling like an endless grind and helps me live a balanced life. It keep it moderate though. I never watch more than 2 episodes a day, and I'm considering cutting it down to 1, even though Attack on Titan is so good. But still, I don't want my hobbies to control me. I want to enjoy them while still staying in control. After I finish eating, I usually get to work. And for dinner, I usually prep whatever. It could be rice, curries, homemade burgers, etc. Anything that fills me up. And in between, I have small snacks like fruit or granola bars or whatever. I don't really care too much as long as I get my protein. Now, speaking of protein, the third thing I try to implement into my routine, though I've already mentioned it, is going to the gym. I don't go every single day, 4 times a week is my maximum. But life happens, appointments, unexpected plans, or days when I'm simply not feeling it. So I don't assign specific gym days, Instead, I go whenever I can within the week. Even though my days aren't consistent, my times usually are. I don't enjoy working out in a crowded gym, so I try to go early in the morning around 9 to 10 a.m. after my smoothie or coffee, or late at night around 8 to 9 p.m. when it's less busy. During my 4 weekly session, I focus on different muscle groups each day. Day 1 is back and abs, Day 2 is chest and abs, Day 3 is arms and shoulders, and Day 4 is legs. When I'm there, I give it everything. I usually do 8 to 10 reps for 4 sets, and on the last set, I push to failure. I genuinely believe that if you're not hitting failure, you're not getting the full benefit of your workout. That final push makes you feel like you actually accomplished something. Now, you might be wondering what happens with the remaining weekday if I only go 4 times. Honestly, it varies. Some days I jog to work on my stamina, other days I rest and focus on my tasks. I also treat the extra day as a backup if I miss a gym day because of a dentist appointment or just feeling unmotivated. I use that day to make it up. And if I miss more than 1 day, I'll go on the weekend to stay consistent. Staying consistent isn't about starving yourself of worldly pleasures, it's also about your mindset. In fact, almost everything you do rests on mindset. And one of the best ways to confront the thoughts that hold you back is through books. So the fourth I want to mention is reading, especially self-help books. These books are one of the most effective ways to reshape not just your mindset, but your lifestyle. Personally, I like consuming them in audiobook form. There's something refreshing about listening to a good self-help audiobook while walking outside breathing fresh air and feeling your mind and body move together. Right now, I'm listening to Stop Letting Everything Affect You by Daniel Chidiak. I'm really enjoying it because it puts my entire mindset into perspective and actively challenges it. It confronts my biases, gives exercises to combat overthinking and self-sabotage, and forces me to reflect on habits I've overlooked. The reason I'm so passionate about this is because many of these books, when chosen carefully, are written by motivational speakers, experts, or professors who specialize in the exact issues you're dealing with. Their advice is grounded in studies, research, and real-life experience. And if books or audiobooks aren't your thing, there are plenty of YouTube creators who cite studies properly and challenge your mindset just as effectively. Whether it's thoughts about overthinking, bad habits, or emotional control, the key is to consistently challenge your biases and mental patterns. If you want to level up your character, change must begin with the mind. And that internal shift is one of the biggest steps in leveling up. The last habit I want to talk about is making deep reflections. Self-help books can only call you out on so much. It's not like the author is watching you through the window. And at the end of the day, it's night. Yeah, that was terrible. I know. Anyway, even though books and videos help reshape your mindset, you still have to do the work. You need to figure out how to internalize what you learned and apply it to your own life. And the best methods I've found are journaling and meditation. Personally, I journal more often because it helps me see everything clearly. It's all laid out in front of me, and I can revisit those pages whenever I face the same problems again. But meditation is just as powerful. Slowing down, reflecting, understanding yourself, and being at peace can genuinely shift your entire emotional outlook. It reminds me of that scene in Kung Fu Panda 2, when Po masters inner peace and releases everything weighing on him. Meditation really does feel like that. Even Erling Haaland does it, and he's a literal goal-scoring machine. Maybe meditating will turn you one into two. Another thing that should be included during these reflection moments is gratitude. I often forget how lucky I am. I have a roof over my head, food on my plate, clothes on my back, and problems that other people wish they had. Practicing gratitude grounds you. Some people wake up in the morning and their prayer is just gratitude, and honestly, that's something we all should do. It humbles you and makes you appreciate the beauty around you. I'm grateful that my biggest worry is hoping the Oilers win the Stanley Cup this year. Just that shift in attitude can change your entire perspective and make the world look brighter. At the end of the day, life is tough, but it's also incredibly beautiful. When we take a step back and truly reflect, we appreciate that beauty hundreds of times more. And although I have many things to share to help you level up your character, leveling up isn't about becoming tougher. It's about becoming better. Better means more focused and driven, more healthier and happier, more reflective and humble. That's what I wanted this video to be, and I hope I captured even a fraction of that. So please try your best to implement these 5 habits whenever you can. And with your permission, I'll sign off now. I hope to see you all very soon. Thank you.